Kyle volunteers. It's Carly. Center 4 is spin the cone and meet conifer. So we're starting this one. We're talking about the difference between deciduous trees and evergreens. So the goal is that we'll have some real life evergreen branches, but it will depend on how long they last, our ability to find varieties. But we will have at least some that they can look at, and you can talk about how the needles are bunched together, the length, the texture, same thing, same kind of characteristics as leaves in that everybody's different. Spin the cone is a game here. We have a bunch of cards. Some of the cards have pictures of pine cones and a description of the tree. Some of them have actual pine cones. So again, we'll have to be careful with these. And then we have separately pictures of the branch, and then on the back the name of the tree and a picture of the whole tree. So what you're going to do is you're going to, in a circle, you're going to set the cones in a circle around, there's I think 6 or 7 of them, around this, that's not the spinner, the spinner, which is right here. Kids will spin, they will point to a bristlecone pine, and then so around the pine cones and the further around the circle, you're going to have these pictures, and so they're going to, based on this description and this pine cone, find the tree branch. Again, the goal is to have some real tree branches for some of this. You know, I know we'll be able to do ponderosa because I got one of those in my front yard. So if you have any conifers in your yard that you want to bring in, we are talking about branches. We have Douglas fir, blue spruce, ponderosa pine, lodgepole pine, bristlecone pine, pinyon pine, Engelmann spruce. So the goal is to match up the pine cone with the tree branch with the actual tree. So that's the spin the cone game. Then the next thing we're going to talk about is how to identify conifers in Colorado. It's kind of cool. This I did not know. I lost my handout. It's really gone forever. Here it is. It's and this is the handout that's in there now. I'm probably going to make one that's a little less dense with some more pictures. But basically, we've got pines, spruces, and firs. And did you know you can tell the difference between them quite easily? And this talks about the different characteristics of pine trees, how their needles grow, spruces and firs. I won't bore you with the details, but you can talk about that with the kids, and with those branches you can teach them the trick about how they can always tell the difference between a pine, spruce, and a fir. There are other handouts in here, just some more information, cone and needles. Oh, I forgot about these. So we've got parts of a pine cone, which we covered maybe in the other session or other center, depending on which version you did. This is pretty cool, the life cycle of the pine cones. We'll talk about the male cones, the pollen cones, and then the seed cones and how they germinate. And so there's this version of that. And then there's a life cycle of, like a more complicated version that talks about the life cycle of the tree, which you can review with the kids. And then there are some more just pictures to talk about. You know, you can see the baby pine cones, and more pictures of trees and pine cones. Lots of trees and pine cones. I think that is all for that.
Censure, thanks.